So I just saw Backrooms from A24.
Follow my lead.
Clark, what is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've been here every night since I found the place, and I still barely scratched the surface.
There were two children seated next to me at this R-rated screening of Backrooms with their mom, and at the end of the movie, the mom turned to her two kids and said, "We should have gone to Obsession." Backrooms, for those of you who don't know, is an internet phenomenon based off of the idea of liminal spaces in the back rooms of a mall. And then people started making online animations about guys in Among Us suits running around finding weird, scary horror stuff in there. One of the worst things to happen to the back rooms as a concept was the idea that there's scary monsters in there because there's a thing running around in there. It's scary. Let's walk through the premise of Backrooms real quick while I run an errand, because I realized I didn't do that in the parking lot. Backrooms follows Clark, who is the owner and operator of Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire, a cheap furniture store. Oops, one of the walls in the basement, you know, a thing a strip mall furniture store has, one of the walls in the basement is permeable. And if you walk through it, you go to, the back rooms. Then he goes and he gets some employees to run around the back rooms with him so he can have evidence the back rooms exist. And then oops-a-doodle, we're talking about not the eerie liminal space back rooms from before all of the like 3D animated, fan animations and stuff started. We're talking about the easily marketable back rooms with Amogus scientists in it. And there's a monster in there.
Pull me up!
What's worse is like Chiwetel Ejiofor's in it. He's great. He doesn't get to be in a lot of stuff these days. I was excited to see him in this movie. And then he's in it. He's there. Clark's a character. And then later in the movie happens, and I'm not going to talk about that because it's spoilers, and I don't normally do spoilers here, but suffice it to say, the movie switches protagonists just so you have more excuses for a person to be like, wait, I can walk through this wall and I'm in back rooms? They don't ever say back rooms, I'll give them that. They have enough restraint to never say, what is this, some kind of back room? It's weird to watch because on the one hand, yes, it's an A24 huffing its own farts pretentious horror movie. But on the other end, it's one of those movie experiences where you can just feel that 90% of the details you see on screen have a wiki entry. Oh, you would know where that street sign's referencing if you went on the wiki and read something that some 13-year-old in 2020 wrote while they were sitting at home. Oh, but actually, that guy being in a green suit is on the wiki. You just gotta go on the wiki. Iron Lung wasn't the best horror movie this year. I enjoyed Iron Lung. Iron Lung is a self-contained thing because the game it's based on is relatively self-contained. Backrooms, there's a lot of shots where it feels like this shot is only in the movie because there's one little fiddly thing in the background that they want some nerd in the audience to be like, I get it, I understand, I don't understand. Which is fine, I guess it's fine, but like, what's there for the rest of us? I will be fully open with you. I don't find the concept of the backrooms as a entity a valid horror thing, if that makes sense. It's not really scary. I understand the inherent fear of the liminality of the original images that became known as the backrooms. Like, we never play with the idea of like, what happens if you get lost? Because a character, spoiler, never gets lost in the back rooms. There are times where a character just starts running and we go through a bunch of like things you've seen on the internet from different backrooms fan animations and stuff like that, but they don't explain like, oh, this person's never gonna get out. And they don't focus on the spooky organization that's sending people in to study the back rooms, because it's meant to be a story that's not about them, because we want to make sequels. We really hope we can make sequels about this. Ooh, we even hired a character actor to play a scientist from the spooky organization so that he will be affordable when we make the sequels. There is an extended sequence about a third of the way through the movie where something goes wrong, and Chiwetel Ejiofor's character Clark gets a hold of the camera that has become the first-person view because it's found footage for about 30 minutes. It feels like 30 minutes, is probably not. But there is an extended sequence where he's running from a spoopy thing in the dark, and during that entire sequence, it is painfully obvious all of it is CG. You were watching effectively an official animation of fan animation of somebody running through the back rooms. And as somebody who's seen a bazillion of those across TikTok and YouTube shorts, they are not compelling entertainment. You're just watching a camera artificially bob and weave to try and look handheld, except it's painfully obvious it's not. And you're just hearing ADR of Chiwetel Ejiofor going, I think the movie suffers partially because it doesn't have a lot of characters. A lot of their money is going into all the computer graphics that are required to pull off the effects they're doing in the back rooms. And as such, it's one of those movies where there's probably fewer than 10 credited named characters. You need more speaking characters in this. If you're going to do what they did with that, you have to do something more. And they didn't. Honestly, if you're thinking about going to see a movie, this weekend or next weekend, Backrooms, probably a waste of your time. If you haven't seen Obsession, I'm told Obsession is amazing. If Saccharin is still in theaters, pardon the pun, there's more to chew on with Saccharin than there is with Backrooms.
I don't think Saccharin sucks, but I think it will suck for a lot of people.
If you are spending your hard-earned dollars to go see a film in the movie theater this weekend or a weekend coming up, and you want to have a good time, I would heartily suggest there are better uses of an hour and 47 minutes of your time than to waste your money on A24 trying to do something that is way out of their safe zone. You're sitting there like, and why do I care? What argument are you making for me caring about this character? Because one of the characters the movie really wants you to care about barely has any characterization to make you care about them. I know my last video was me being passive-aggressive about a certain movie distributor because they blocked use of clips on YouTube globally, and I still am ticked off about that, but this might be my most negative review. Like, Hunting Matthew Nichols was boring, but Hunting Matthew Nichols was just playing the hits.
If you really like found footage, don't go see Matthew Nichols.
And if you're a huge Backrooms nerd, maybe this is the opposite of that. Maybe this is the best movie for you, because there's possibly a bunch of references in it that are just cool as hell to see. I'm in a rare position where I went to see a fandom movie not being in that fandom. And, as just its own movie, bleh. Thank you for watching this far. I very much appreciate it. I am going to go talk to a loved one and touch grass after that. So if you want to tag along and hear about the next movies I see, I'm going to the AMC Screen Unseen on Monday. We'll see what that mystery movie is, and we'll be back to my normal routine of ranting in this parking lot on a Monday night, telling you what the movie was and if it was worth seeing. If you would like to tag along, you can subscribe, you can like this video and comment. I really like hearing from y'all. There have been some really nice people who've stumbled across my channel lately. Welcome. I very much appreciate you sticking around. And I'll see you next time. I also have a Patreon. You can find that linked in the description. There is a bug on my hand. Get it off? Okay. Bye.